141wrestling.com. This is Bill Apter, and today a very special Apter chat. We're going to go all the way to Minnesota to my dear friend Darla Staggs. Welcome to the Apter chat.
Hi, Bill.
Hi.
Good to see
Yeah,
you.
good to
Be
see
here.
you too. And a lot of people are saying, well, is she a lady wrestler or something that he's got her on here? No, this is something very special. Today is April 14th. 2013, and I was going up and down all my Facebook messages, and you and I am a lot together, and you reminded me that one of our dear friends who is no longer with us would have been 52 years old on April 14th, and I see you wearing a t-shirt that has his name on it.
Yes, I am. And in fact, this is the first time I've had this t-shirt on. My good friend Mark James has had them made, and I was the first one to get one of these t-shirts, so I'm pretty excited over it.
Yes, and we're talking about, of course, uh, the great Eddie Gilbert, who was a dear friend of mine and a very dear friend of yours. So let's go back a little bit. Why did you become such an ardent Eddie Gilbert supporter?
Well, I first met Eddie in June of 1979. The WFIA convention was held in
That
Memphis
was the
that year.
Wrestling Fans International Association. That
That's
was the original convention.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that was the first one I ever attended, and Tommy and Eddie were both there. It
Tommy,
was
now in case somebody doesn't know, Tommy's Eddie's father.
correct, correct. Tommy is his father, and we hit it off that year, and we just became friends there. Eddie had just graduated from high school and started wrestling, and later that year, well, let me stop there. We became friends there, and during that summer, I traveled to Memphis, 2 or 3 more times to visit with them. And then Eddie left home in October of that year and moved to Kansas City and started working for Bob Geigel in that area.
Yeah. Yeah.
And being that that was the first time Eddie had ever been away from home, we that's where we began our friendship.
Now let me
And
explain that you lived at that point, you lived in Missouri as well.
in St.
So you
Louis,
were
correct,
closer geographically to him.
right.
Yeah.
And I would travel to Kansas City and spend time with Eddie because he, like I said, it was his first time being away from home. He was 18 years old. So it was
And
kind of like I
how
just,
old were you at that point?
do I really have to tell you?
No, you don't. Go ahead.
I was
Lady never
older than
reveals her age. Go ahead.
I'm a few years older than
Okay.
Eddie, and so I kind of took him under my wing, and my other good friend Juanita Wright, who was Sapphire with
Yeah,
Dusty
she
Rhodes.
eventually became Sapphire. Yes.
Yes, so we became very close friends with Eddie, and we would go to Kansas City and visit with him. And I remember that year at Christmas, Doug, his younger brother, who was, I believe, 12 at the time.
Doug.
Yeah, little Dougie came and spent Christmas, and we went to the apartment and made cookies for him. And we it was more of a friendship, even more so than wrestling.
Yeah.
And he became like a little
It
brother.
became a home away from home for him.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
And then the St. Louis wrestling office was Sam Mushnick. Sam loved Eddie,
I
and
know
I
that.
think during the time that Eddie was in Kansas City, he was on just about every one of Sam's cards in St. Louis, and that meant a great deal to Eddie and the fans here in St. Louis as well.
Now, my relationship with Eddie, of course, started off professionally when I first met him, and then it turned into he and I trying to see who did the best Dusty Rhodes impression, who did the best Terry Funk impression, and many places that I traveled around the world, New York, Puerto Rico. There was Eddie and Tommy Gilbert all the time. They always talked about you, and you and I became friends through that. But what was it about Eddie Gilbert that separate through the years of you following wrestling, and you became one of these people one of these special people inside the business through all the years? What was it that separated Eddie Gilbert from everybody else that made him such a dear friend to you?
Um, he was just always genuine. I don't know, it was just something that clicked with us when we first met. He, we were just always good friends. I mean, when I can remember times when he even went overseas he was in Puerto Rico and different places, and he would write letters. You know, we didn't have
Yeah.
cell phones or computers back then. I still
Wow.
have letters. I still have letters from Puerto Rico when he was there.
Wow.
When not the last time, but when he was there when he was younger. The sad part about our friendship is the last time that I had seen Eddie was in October of 1990. Of course, you know, once he got married and I got married, you know, it kind of, we didn't see each other very often anymore, but, you know, he always remained so dear to my heart. And I have remained friends with Tommy and Peggy, his parents, and have been to their house on a few occasions. And it was so wonderful a few years ago. I think it was in 2010. They were giving the family award by the Cauliflower Alley.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
so I was
yeah.
able to spend some precious
Bittersweet,
time with them.
bittersweet, bittersweet. Well, Eddie kept in touch with me regularly throughout his whole life. We just became. Sometimes I get calls from him at 3 o'clock in the morning from Japan or somewhere wherever he was, just calling me up like he was Terry Funk. So we always had a great
That was
time, and
it.
yeah, and he always spoke very highly about the friendship that he had developed with you and Juanita. But the purpose of today is Eddie Gilbert would have been 52 years old. We just wanted to give a shout out where he's up there looking down at all of his wrestling fans and. Wow, he had a great life, a great career, and we miss him very, very much. Happy birthday
Yes, we
to
do.
you, Eddie Gilbert.
Happy birthday, Eddie. I still love you.
All right, Darla, thank you so much. And Eddie Gilbert, gone, but certainly not forgotten. Bill Apter with Darla Staggs right here on One Wrestling.